Alright, so now you're ready to start your second draft. There's a series of steps I want you to take, and you should do them in this order. The first is to review the rubric. That's to make sure that your story has all the pieces that it needs. Once you've checked that, you're going to start looking at individual words. First, you're going to start getting rid of the old types of words you've probably been using your whole life in your writing. We're going to start getting rid of those and putting better words, making your writing better. Subject-verb agreement, past tense, checking all your verbs. Then you're going to add figurative language. That's kind of like adding spices to your food. You're going to make it better. Then finally, after you've done all that, then you check for your spelling and capitalization rules. And I have slides that help you out with that in case you forgot all the rules. Then, when you're done, you'll finally publish it. So, let's go through the steps. The first thing you want to do after writing your first draft is you want to start reviewing the rubric. And there are 5 parts to that. The narration. Is there a beginning, middle, and end? Did you reveal the significance of the incident? In this case, it was a lesson you learned the hard way. Did you identify what that lesson is? Then, did you use descriptive strategies? Did you use physical descriptions? Did you describe things? Did you describe the setting? If your story takes place at your house, did you describe things in your house? You've got to put your reader in that place and time of your story. And then figurative language, metaphor, similes, symbolism, these things you've been talking about every year in English in school. You're going to start using them now. We'll get to this in a bit. And then, of course, your grammar and spelling. So that's the rubric. As we go through this checklist, we'll be checking for some items here. But the first 2 you can check right now. Does your story have a beginning, middle, and end? And does it reveal the significance of the incident? Second is something I call seek and destroy. And what you're going to do is look for some of these words that are in your story. Now, some of these are present tense, some are past tense. Is. He is studying. That's present tense. He was studying. Past tense. So, if your whole story is in past tense, which it should be, then you don't need to check for every single word on this list. Just check for the words that are in past tense. Okay? So, look in the story for some of these words, and then when you find them, you can go to this list. This is optional. But I have a whole list of action words, and there's a lot of them. Students sometimes lack the vocabulary to make their stories better. So this list is used by screenwriters to make their screenplays even better. So that's a tool professional writers use. You can use it too. It's just a list of a whole lot of action words. So you want to replace those dead, tired, simple words into new words. So go ahead, seek and destroy now. Go ahead and do that now. Okay, so now that you've made some corrections, you sought out, you destroyed some of these words. Next we want to look at subject-verb agreement. Now, if you forgot what that's all about, this is stuff that has been covered in all the years of schooling you've had. Middle school, elementary school. When you first learned how to write, you were taught subject-verb agreement. But just in case, it's been a very long summer, I provided a link for you that teaches you how to do it again, okay? The dog chases the cat. Dog is singular. The dog chases. But if you change dog to dogs, it becomes the dogs chase the cat. That's called subject-verb agreement. The subject and the verb have to line up. So that's a quick review for you. I suggest you go through there, not only for this assignment, but it is on the high school exit exam and state tests. So I suggest you go back and review if you need to. Other than that, the one thing I want you to make sure is that everything is in past tense for this story. Most stories need to be in past tense. So you're looking for the verbs. Every sentence has a verb. Make sure they're all in past tense. So go into your first draft and do that now. Okay, so now that you've checked your subject-verb agreement, made sure everything is in past tense, we're now going to add figurative language. Figurative language is what makes your stories more interesting, more descriptive, more colorful. We're going to be talking a lot about figurative language in this semester. In fact, the essay that you wrote the very first week was asking you to find literary devices. And a lot of that has to do with figurative language. So you're going to see this a lot. For now, what I want you to do is just add 2 more of any of these. Okay? And then you want to have at least 4 uses of figurative language in your essay. So you want to highlight them. Some of us do it naturally. Some of you have to actually think about it to do it. Now, what is figurative language? What's a metaphor? Well, I provided a link for you to give you a quick review. Alright? There's a link for each one of these that'll tell you what they are. We'll talk more about them in class. But for now, I want you to go ahead and review what they are and add 2 to your essay. So go in your essay, add the 2, and when you're done, highlight them blue. So when I read your essays, I can see. There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to look for them. That's part of your grade. Okay? So go ahead and do that now. Alright. So that's 1. Excellent. Now you would go ahead and add another one. So then once you've added them, what's the next step? I want you to highlight them, right? So I'll just take this piece right here. Here's a highlighting tool. Everyone see it? And there you go. Go through and highlight how many?
4.
4. When I check your grade, I'll be looking. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Now don't just use all similes. Look for something that's already there. Look in the essay. Is there a metaphor, a hyperbole anywhere? Hyperbole is an exaggeration. Alright, finally, the last thing you want to do is check your spelling and capitalization. That's the last step. Why? Because we've been adding metaphors. We've been doing similar. We've been adding words. Now that all the words are there, we can now start checking all that spelling and stuff. So, guys, let me give you a big hint. If it's underlined in red, it's probably misspelled. Okay? So fix it. A lot of times you can just right-click it, and it'll fix it for you. But go through there should be no spelling. If you forgot what the rules are, go through the slideshow, and it actually goes through all the rules, and I try to break it down as simple as I can for you.